Okay. Hi everyone. Today we are in Denver and we are looking at this super cool truck called Serenity. And this is Bill's truck and with an old Mercedes 40 and a very cool camber box. And I'll let Bill speak about it in details for you guys.
Just want me to give a description?
Yep.
So it's a 1989 Mercedes-Benz 917 AF with an FM2 shelter on the back. 395 85 R20 tires. It's about 12 feet tall, 22 feet long, about 8 feet wide.
And it's a very short
wheelbase.
a lot of off-road capability. And a solid truck. Can we take a look at the cab if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
It's a diesel, of course, right?
What's that?
It's a diesel, of course.
Yes, diesel,
Just-
inline 6-liter, inline 6 diesel.
About
170 horsepower.
Right.
So underpowered, but a lot of torque.
Right.
A lot of low gears.
That's what we need.
That's right.
And from a design standpoint, it is so cool because, let me just step aside, because you get such a short cab.
Short cab and a short wheelbase, so you can maneuver in town really easily.
Right.
And
You can park anywhere.
Around obstacles when you're off-road, it's a lot easier, turning the sharp turns and stuff like that.
Plus the overall length is
22 feet.
22.
A little over 21.
Right. That's really crazy.
Yep. 121-inch wheelbase, so shorter than most vans.
Well, 120.
121-inch wheelbase.
Wow. Okay.
So very short wheelbase.
That is a beast off-road. The ram angle you have there is amazing.
You want to look in the cab?
Yes, let's go.
You can go on this side. Or you want to go on
Oh yeah, let's go on this side.
Okay.
So it's a pretty tall truck. Almost 30 years old, right?
Yep, it's actually 31. It's
31 years old. So this is the step 1, 2 step, and you climb through it this way with your hands here, I suppose.
Yep. So we have 2 seats. We have a third seat in the middle for our 2-year-old. But she sits there generally and my wife drives. But 5-speed.
Let me
we
go up and...
We have our backup camera here.
Yep.
Stereo.
I love this steering wheel, by the way.
It's big. Power steering, but still a big steering wheel. So,
Right.
but all the usual things, some USBs, tire pressure monitor, chart plotter, and a tablet for navigation.
Right.
That kind of thing.
24 volt instead of...
I have both.
Oh, okay.
12 volts here. This one is 24 volt. It's the one that came with the truck. The truck runs on 24 volts, but I have 12 volt converters in here for all the electronic items. So.
I remember when I was really young in Hong Kong, I used to sit in this Mercedes school bus, and I that has this exact same
Yeah, they have that.
van and the steering wheel, and always dying to have something
They used a
like
lot of
that.
the same stuff for all their bigger trucks, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is classified as a light duty truck,
Oh, really?
as big as it is. So it's Mercedes had a lot of big trucks, but this is the smallest big truck you can build.
Factory 4x4.
Factory all-wheel drive that switches to 4-wheel drive. You have high and low range. There's a rear locker that switches here.
Right.
4-wheel drive switches here. This is all done by air. And then, yeah, this is the high and low range back here.
And you had the air seat, obviously.
Air seats on both sides. Yep. Suspension seats.
I had always watched my school bus driver having the seat bounce when we
That's
go
right.
over something, and I had, as a kid, I am always dying to sit there one day.
Well, and when you're sitting over the axle like this, you need that because you bounce a lot more than a normal truck. So.
Right, than sitting. But the real advantage is you have such a short overall length, like
Yep.
a pretty good sized living box.
Yep.
But you keep yourself nimble.
Yes. Plus the windshield is the front of the truck, so you know you can pull right up to something because this is as far as the truck goes.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about hitting things up front or anything like
Right.
that. You can see everything from here.
I can almost imagine at times it would feels like you are kind of suspended if you really put up in like.
When you're going on steep inclines, it
Right.
definitely feels different. But it's nice to be above everything. In traffic, you're above all the cars. When you park in a parking lot, you're above in the cabin. You're above all the cars. You can see all around you. So it's.
Do you open this top thing? We don't have to open this.
It opens either way. It doesn't open all the way. It just vents
Yeah.
that way or that way.
Do you guys use it on the road
Yes.
sometimes? Okay.
Yes. There's no AC.
Oh, really? There's no AC.
No AC. So
Okay.
you have your wing vents and you have this. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what you have. So A lot of people will take this vent out and put AC there.
Oh,
Like
no,
a-
I think keep it.
So we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe someday.
Oh, but you have fan, right? This is,
Yep, we have fans, vents here that come from outside.
right.
This is here, and then the wing vents open up. So
And that has heat, of course, like just
Yep.
the engine heat.
it has heat, or you can just have it direct outside, cool vent air.
This
So
is cool.
Either way.
All right, let's go around and check out outside.
Okay.
It is really quite a big truck, just from the height perspective, but not in a length perspective.
It's very tall. Yeah.
Right.
Tall. And yeah.
Can we talk a bit about the tires and wheels you have?
Yeah. So these were 20-inch wheels. These are 395 85R20 tires, 46-inch tall, and about a foot wide. So
It's one of the more common size, right, for what it is.
yeah, like we were able to get this. We had a problem in South Dakota, and we were able to get this from a shop there. So
Oh, okay.
they're fairly common in the U.S. 20 inches going away in Europe. 22.5 is the new standard now. So this is
But this is probably slightly better off-road because you have more of
more
the
rubber.
rubber.
You can air down more.
Right.
For sand and things like that. But
How much are these a piece, if you don't mind? Like roughly?
These, if you had to buy it new, about $2,200.
Oh, not the
$2,200.
cheapest tires.
No. Luckily, I had a subscriber that sold me 5 for $300 each. So
Oh, what a
got
deal!
a good deal. I got all 5 for the price of one.
Wow.
I did have to buy one since then. So
And these last like
it depends.
30, 40K ish.
Maybe if you're lucky. Depends. They're an off-road tire, so if you drive on the road a lot, they go pretty fast.
Right.
If you stay off.
There's a lot of negatives in
Yep,
here.
Yep. So if you drive off-road, dirt roads, they last a lot longer.
Oh, okay.
But,
So that's encouraged you to go a bit
Yes.
off-road more.
Definitely not the best street tire there is, but
Right.
doable.
Can we go around and talk about the exterior
Sure.
a bit?
Start at the front or the back?
What? Whatever.
Well, start at the back. So we got our spare tire back here, AC, cell phone booster antenna,
Hmm.
backup camera down there,
Oh, okay.
and then we have some lights all around that I can turn on in the cab for extra. If you come in late at night, you can turn them on and see all around you.
I love this with the
LED,
guards.
The LED, the guards, yep. So if you
I-
bump into something, it'll
They
help.
survive.
It'll help, yeah. Although it'd have to be something pretty big, but
This is almost like a container in a way,
it is.
right?
The container locks, it's just all aluminum. It's not steel, it's all aluminum.
Right.
All these ports here, the German military used those for heating and cooling. They hooked up ducts to those.
Oh, okay.
Through, so those were all there originally.
Right.
The door used to be back here. in the
Oh,
middle.
okay.
We blanked it off, moved it over here.
And is it attached to a subframe?
It's topped to a 3-point subframe. Pivots at the rear. That big bolt right there is the pivot back here. So this is the pivot.
Yep. It
And
goes.
it's 2 solid mounts at the front, so
Right.
it turns independent of the truck frame.
Such a strong frame. I mean, just from
It's
from the structure, you get thickness of
it's a
the
little
stuff.
overkill, but we go into some off-road stuff that we like to have. It gives about 12 inches of twist
Wow.
without affecting the frame. You see the sway bars are about 1.75 inches. It's all millimeters, but big sway bars front and rear.
It's like lampposts.
It's big and they're heavy. Everything with big trucks is heavy, so
Right.
each tire weighs about 350 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
So I can get this off by myself, but getting it up, you need help.
Oh,
So
yeah.
We're gonna have a winch system eventually on the back. that'll
Right.
lift them down.
And these are storage box, and they.
So yeah, we have 2 toolboxes at the rear, one on each side for tools and fluids. And then these 2 boxes on the front. This one has like our, sorry they're locked right now, but
No, don't worry.
this has like our barbecue and our chairs, all that kind of stuff for camping. And the other side has some more tools and the batteries are in there and things like that.
And they are mounted on the frame,
They're mounted to the subframe, yeah.
or to the subframe,
Yeah.
so they twist with.
So they twist with all of this.
Okay.
The fenders are on the subframe too.
Oh, this this is the subframe.
Yep, that's the
the
subframe.
main
That's the
frame.
truck frame. Yeah.
Okay.
So everything that's mounted, the spare, everything is on the subframe, so it all moves together.
Right. Right.
And then the truck frame moves separate.
Wow. This is a really cool setup.
So it's, yeah, like I said, it's been a couple years of work, but built to German specs, so in case we ever go around the world or something, we can do that.
Yep.
And also for resale, if we ever had to sell it,
Right.
it's built to a big enough audience, maybe.
Leaf spring all around.
Leaf springs, parabolic leaf springs.
Right.
So they have the gaps in between the springs. That's the parabolic.
Right.
And then shocks all the way around. So they're kind of like a coil spring, but not quite, but similar.
Right.
A little bit better than leaf springs.
Actually, you want leaf spring over coil, right? Because
Well,
it's
the
easy to
Unimogs-
repair if something happened.
Yeah, the Unimogs have a coil, and they ride better.
Yeah,
Coils
sure.
ride better, but
Right.
these are more universally
Yes.
sustainable.
All right.
You can open up this hood separate from, you have to tilt the cab to get to the motor,
Yes.
but you can open up this hood for filling your fluids and things like that without tilting the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Got a big pull point down the front.
And these are for getting up to.
This is for manually tilting the cab. So you
Oh.
unhook it and you climb up on these steps here, grab onto there, pull it back.
Oh, I always thought it's to grab and clean the windows.
You can use it for that too, but it's to pull the cab open because it's manual. A lot of the bigger cabs have a hydraulic. This is
Yes.
manual, so you have to pull it open yourself.
Oh, it's nice. Nothing breaks, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
nothing
well,
can break.
You want to make sure nothing's loose in there when you do it, or it'll break the windshield. So you got to be careful.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we have some more lights. Driving lights down low. The big cab light on top.
Fuel tank is on another side.
Fuel tank is between the rails in the middle,
Oh, okay.
so we can climb underneath. That side's hard to get to, but I can show you.
We can just take a peep on the side.
Yep. So this is the fuel tank here.
Okay.
Aluminum goes the whole,
Oh, I
the
see.
whole length of the cab,
Right.
and then that little tank back there is the gray tank.
Yep.
It's aluminum also.
And what is this, just for the audience?
This is a Neberspacher heater that preheats the truck,
Right.
warms up the fluids, so your engine's warm, and it heats up the cab too. So,
Nice and toasty.
so in the winter, yeah, you don't have to cold start.
Right. Let's get in and check it out. And
Up a little bit.
oh, thanks. And this is 4-inch take, so really substantial.
Yeah, 3-inch.
All right, we are inside.
3-inch thick standard, and then I added an inch of spray foam. It's all spray foam sealed inside, and we resheeted. It's not done, but
Huge windows.
big windows that are, they have the screens and the shades, and they open up to any position. So
Woo.
you just open them up, and no rain gets in. And these have also
Yes.
a pretty neat feature where you can lock it
Yes,
like that, so it vents.
but people can tinker with
They
it.
can't get in, but you can set your fan to auto. So during the day, if you're not here, you can leave it on. Set thermostat, it'll keep it cooler in here.
Right.
So that's a neat feature of these.
I love these over acrylic so much. The clarity
And they're
is
glass, so they don't scratch.
Yes.
Which the acrylics scratch. Whenever, especially in Colorado, we have a lot of trees. You get a lot of scratches right away. So we wanted glass windows.
And one thing special about this truck, I find like real
Yeah.
marbles.
We have real blue. It's Bahia blue granite.
Right.
That's one of the fancy things that we've done so far. But heavy, but it's kind of nice. We like it. You can set pots on it. You don't have to worry about burning anything. It's
I love how you have this beautiful
we
sink
got
too.
sink and
Right.
can use that even outside. You can get out the window, use it for an outdoor shower if you want.
Yes.
I guess we can start at the back. And
Oh yeah, sure.
walk around
Maybe
if
we'll
you
flip.
want.
This is one of the most homey truck, by the way, just from a setting standpoint.
So starting back here, we got just our entertainment stuff, our books. We like to watch movies. We use our bed as a couch, but this fridge freezer is also a seat. Got our Blu-ray player, speakers, silverware, cut-out
Yes.
drawer, lots of storage.
And you did all the.
Yep, I built all the inside and put the windows, the doors, all that stuff. So,
I wish I could get as handy one day.
well, I don't know if it's a curse. 2 years. It's
Wow.
a lot of work. But we got a fridge freezer.
Oh, okay.
Fridge freezer here that doubles as our couch.
Yes.
We'll have cushions we can put on here.
Yep.
This
Good
is,
size.
this is our shower that's not done yet, but
Mm-hmm.
wet bath with the
Cassette.
cassette toilet.
Oh, matching marble.
Matching granite in here.
Oh,
Yep.
wow,
Yep,
matching granite.
in
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
So we don't have the walls finished yet, but
right.
that's coming. But we have a fireplace heater here that we liked. We've used it in a couple of vehicles now, and that warms things up real fast, and it's good for about 3 seasons. We also have the Truma Combi 6E that does the furnace and water heater combination that's under the bed.
Oh, you even have a small window here.
Yeah,
I didn't notice it yesterday.
There's one up on the other side too.
Yeah,
I have closed up.
that one. Very cool, very cool.
So cooktop here, propane,
Easy stuff.
microwave.
Yep.
Let's keep all our pots and pans in here.
Do you carry a generator?
Nope, we don't.
And you never need it?
I've never needed it.
You had 800.
800 watts of solar up there.
Wow.
Everything is run through the Victron system throughout. We have the inverter charger combo down there.
Yep.
Solar up here. This turns all that on. Here's the control for the Truma. Just switches to turn things on, water pump, things like that.
Yep.
All there. Outside light on this side. And this isn't, I think my battery's dead, but we have inside outdoor temperature here so we can see what's going on.
Right. How can we see the solar charging and all that now?
So you can see the what's coming in. Sorry, I'll set this aside. This kind of tells you what coming in. We got 60 watts coming in now.
Ooh.
But it's 100%. We're only using 38 watts for the lights and things right now.
Right.
So it's really smart. It'll bring in as much as it needs, but no more. So if it needs a lot, it'll bring in a lot. If it doesn't, it'll bring in less. But we even run the AC off of it.
Right.
We got AC up in the corner there. We run that off the solar, and we can run that all day. It uses about 430 watts, so we can run that all day off the solar if it's a sunny day, and then we can run it about 8 hours at night if we need to.
Wow.
With the batteries.
Such a luxury.
Yeah, it is nice.
It really is. I mean, compared to like your conventional RV.
Yes.
And one thing I really want to point out is, which I think we both, see the advantage is you had a huge water tank.
Yes. Two 46-gallon water tanks at the back under the bed.
Right.
So we have 92 gallons. So under the bed, basically back there's water. This is batteries. We have 6-volt batteries here. The inverter chargers over there. And we have a that's a subwoofer there. So we have surround sound and a subwoofer for the theater and stuff.
Can flow a whole party.
It's
full on.
It feels like it sometimes.
All right.
Back there's propane. We have 2 20-pound bottles now. But we can have up to 3. Back in this corner is the water pump.
Yes.
Shut-offs, drains, all that. And
right.
Right here is the combi, the Truma.
And the good thing is never freeze because it's inside.
Everything's inside. So we leave the Truma set, like right now we have it set at 50. It's November 1st, 2nd right now. We usually leave it 45, 50 all year round. And then we can go in the winter and use it. We don't have to winterize it. So,
which is a huge plus, in my
awesome.
opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
we have heat vents like here, one underneath the step there, one underneath the step right in front of you there, and then one in the bathroom. So you can see underneath the toe kick, we've got a vent under there that's kind of like that.
Yep.
So we've got even heat throughout the whole place.
Which is really good.
It's really nice because you got to keep the toilet warm also, and then we can also hang clothes in the shower eventually and dry off in there. Wow. So yeah, if you do go out in the winter, you get wet, so you got to dry things off. So. And
how many years did it took you, owning various vehicle and all that, to arrive to, this is a very special solution.
It is.
Like, so to summarize, it's like short, it's cab over 4x4, a lot of clearance, a ton of water, not very long, which is great advantage. It's instead of a 30-foot with like 2 inches of clearance. That's like this is
it's got a lot of clearance.
Park everywhere, leave anywhere.
Really, the only disadvantages are the weight. It weighs almost 17,000 pounds, so it's a little
which
heavy.
Is not that bad.
Not terrible, but it's like, for instance, your average camper van weighs about 8,000 pounds. So
right, and like ours is
12,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So compared to that, it's heavy, but the other it's 12 feet tall, so you have to be careful of tree branches. Most bridges are 13 feet or higher, so you're okay with all that, but it's mainly tree branches, things like that. You have to be careful out on the trails.
Right.
But those are the only disadvantages that I know of. Gets good mileage, about 12 miles per gallon.
Which is very good.
Fully loaded at that weight, so it's slow. The only other disadvantage, if you call it that, is it's slow. I like it.
I think it's an advantage.
I like
So-
it. You get to see more, and people get to see you.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get somewhere in a hurry, like you have a 3-day weekend, and you're trying to go somewhere
No.
fast and come back, it's not really good for that.
No.
It's 60 miles per hour is my top cruising speed.
But I argue as an overlander, you should not be
In a
doing
hurry.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should spend an extra day or two everywhere you go because you'll find things you otherwise wouldn't have known.
Right.
So that's what we try to do too.
Do you get stopped a lot? Like, the fact that this is like a special kind of arranged truck and,
You mean like people want to talk
Yeah.
about it? Yes. We definitely, and it's the same questions, 100,000 times you answer them. But,
right.
and sometimes
The same ones I asked you too.
At the end of a long day, sometimes it's tough. I just want to get back there and eat or go to
Right.
sleep. But no, it's been very good. We've had a lot of long conversations, people that are looking to build something and have questions,
Yes.
to people that just, what is that? Wow, what is that thing? So it's been all positive. I can't really say there's been a negative about it.
Right.
But
I mean, I definitely want to build something relatively similar. Not exactly, but
If you want to be stealthy, this is not. You're not going to be able to hide in this. People will find you. They see you coming and they'll find you. So it's hard to hide.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't find the stealthy approach the most rewarding because then you're having a lot less windows and all that, so you're losing. If you're parked in a countryside, like your vehicle is not that enjoyable. Of course, you could park
In a city, it's
downtown Minneapolis and be like an auto van,
That's
but
right.
I don't think that would be my choice.
Then again, this is fancy enough and big enough that you don't get a lot of trouble from authorities anyway. Generally they're just as want to talk to you about it just as much as anybody else. Like, what is that? Well, that's awesome. So,
Right.
So it opens doors that your average camper doesn't. You can get
Of
away,
course.
You can get away with a little bit. You get a little more margin in
Yes.
the cities and stuff when you have something like this.
Right.
So,
I mean, I had definitely seen it on your Instagram and be like, wow, I gotta meet that guy because we had like a few very similar idea of like
Yeah.
not too long, ton of water, a crazy ton of water by comparison. I actually don't know. I actually don't understand why people would have 20 gallons. I mean, for weekend it works, but for a week
so.
so.
Weight. Mostly you see all these truck build. They're worried about the weight. They build things really light and not as tough as they could be.
Right.
Carry less water, things like that, because they want it to be lighter, because that helps your gas mileage, which helps you sell to the general public. But once you settle in full time or something like that, this is definitely.
For sure.
And if you're a full timer, especially, it's your house. I mean, this is.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay like we do for other things. This is everything, so you can spend a little more because it's your whole house. It's everything.
That's
But you
exactly
want it to
right.
last. You want it to be tough. So.
Yes.
And when you go off road, it's rough. So a lot of the commercial stuff will fall apart after a few years being off road. So you have to build it to be tough. So,
This is definitely military quality. I'm knocking on it and it's not.
it is.
It's like
really
rock
tough.
solid.
It's really tough. It is heavier, but it's really tough. So that's the trade-off. But
Right.
it's 40 years old and shows no signs of any wear whatsoever. So.
Which is,
And the military doesn't treat stuff very well. They just slam stuff around. So
of course.
it's very good.
And by the way, one last question. And you have just lift this box and put this in the wilderness and use this as a tiny house for a little bit, right?
You can. When I built it, it was off. We built it for a year off the truck, so it was totally separate.
Okay.
But you could. It's not attached to the truck in any way, so you could take this off and set it on the property, and it'd be a tiny house.
Which is really cool
Its own
feature.
water, its own toilet, its own power,
Right.
so you can do everything.
Wow. Okay.
If you wanted to, you could.
Yes, but I'd rather have it on wheels.
Yes, especially with fires, things like that. It's good to be able to just move. When things get bad, you can leave.
Yes.
Where people that have cabins, things like that, they lost them in the Colorado fires.
Right.
So we definitely are appreciative that we can move it wherever we want.
All right. Thank you, Bill, for your time today. And thanks again for showing me this beautiful truck and the audience.
No problem.
All right. Thank you.